reel together here, and all we kept hearing is the biggest mistake, the biggest mistake, the biggest mistake. Well, that brings me to today's podcast from the Millionaire of the Diamonds. Today, we're going to talk about the silent killer, lack of concentration. Definitely, Melanie, the biggest mistake. Biggest mistake. So today we're going to understand why talent alone is never, ever enough. Melanie, I'm excited for your part. Melanie's going to explain why your brain naturally chases distraction. Remember when I called you and I said, can you babysit me? I needed to write a speech and I just couldn't get concentrated. So I called Melanie, opened up the Zoom. She was doing her work, but I needed a babysitter, okay? And Marie-Pierre will help you hold up that mirror and ask yourself one powerful question. Am I truly focused or simply busy? Busy. I was thinking about yesterday's podcast, those that were with us yesterday. Like people are just walking fast, going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, zero. And I think as we get more and more in this AI era, whatever, I think finding one's purpose is much more difficult. Living a lot in comfort versus, World War I, World War II. I mean, because really deep rooted causes, purposes
Mm-hmm.
were born out of pain,
Yeah.
out of hardship. And I was thinking of all of this, Melanie, and I say this is one of the things right now that is really challenging for the new world because, if you take MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, this was one woman that just could not accept that, drunk drivers got off the cuff so easily, So, this is where the root of real purpose comes in. So, focus, concentration, same thing. If I wasn't rooted in purpose, Marie-Pierre, Melanie Miller, I'd be walking fast, going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So true. So before we look at if the grass is greener somewhere else, we need to listen to this episode because you're going to understand the grass is never greener anywhere else. So before we dive in, Marie-Pierre, I think we need to share this podcast with everybody we know that keeps thinking there's a better opportunity, there's a better product, a better spouse somewhere else.
Absolutely. So let's start to share. So you'll see there's the arrow just beside where you write your comment. So you can share on every social media platform. And in the comment, and leave you a text that you can copy paste it when you share so people understand why they should listen to the podcast this morning. But you will see also that when you click on the arrow to share on every social media platform, you can send it by a text message. You can send it by messenger. This is for those that you want to make sure that they will listen to the podcast. You have someone in mind, send it directly by messenger, send it by text message. Those one-on-one is the best way to make sure that people will listen to the podcast this morning. Then we have our contest, Les Millionnaires des Diamants. So first, when you go on our Facebook group, she would just come back like that. No. She needed to do a face. Cuckoo, I'm back. That's Maria. Okay, so yes, on our Facebook group, Millionnaires Diamants inspirational group, every time you post, every time you comment, every time you react, you gain points during the month to be in the top 10 contributor of the group. And at the end of the month, the official top 10 get a voucher to go shop on the boutique Les Millionnaires des Diamants. So congratulations to our top 10 for July. So in the top 10
I
official.
couldn't wait. I was so excited.
Number 10, we have Nathalie Brochu. Number 9,
Really?
yeah, Gabrielle Jan.
Who's
Number
that?
8, I don't know.
Okay, Jacqueline, send a message. Let her know. Number 9. She's allowed to a voucher. She's retired now, Jacqueline. I'm going to keep her busy.
Number 8, the page Echo of Hope. Then number
Who's
7, the page.
that?
I don't know. It's been a few weeks that we sang them
Okay,
together.
Jacqueline, let them know they won. Will they be
No,
tagged?
yes, they are tagged if they can be tagged. Yeah. Number 7, the page Chill Vibe. Then number 6, Nadia Bonham. Number 5, Sherry Novak. Number 4, Kenras Fingerson. Number 3, Lise Boucher. Number 2, Louise Gauthier. And number 1, Martha Reyes. So correction to our top 10 for the month of July. And then every month we have a draw at the end of the month for everyone that posted and tagged the page Les Millionnaires des Diamants. So first win the boutique. So when you order or when you receive your order from the boutique Les Millionnaires des Diamants, you take a picture and you post on social media. You tag the page Les Millionnaires des Diamants, or with the books Les Millionnaires des Diamants that you just received another book, or you're reading whatever the book, or you're doing whatever the quiz book, or you're using an agenda Les Millionnaires des Diamants. You take a picture and you post on social media and tag the page Les Millionnaires des Diamants to be in the draw. And our winner this morning for the month of July, we have Linda Casava. Congratulations!
Yay!
Yeah. And last thing, if you don't already have your ticket for the next conference, it's time to go and click it to get your ticket to be with us. It's a virtual conference, so you can join us from all around the world. And if the time is not right for you, you can watch it in replay. And for those that want to be in person, we still have place. Send me a message as soon as you get your ticket so we can reserve your place in the studio. Voilà.
I love it. I love it. All right. So let's dive in. Good morning, Jacqueline. Thank you for taking care of our people. Yes. Okay. Oh, Kathy's there this morning. Love it. Olga. Sue is here. Martin. Congratulations. Take that number 1. Matthew is with us. Good morning. Lise is with us. Did I see? Hang on a second. James. Yes, I did. James is there. I love it. Now, guys, if you see anybody missing, please go put their face on a milk carton. Okay. So they'll know we're checking and we're searching for them. All right. So let's dive right in the chapter. The chapter. Oh my God. No, it's one sentence. Lack of concentration. One sentence, that's all he said. Lack of concentration, meaning jack of all trades, master of none. And over 62 years of my life, I'm going to be 62 years old. And Melanie hinted she was going to be retiring yesterday at the advancement class. So if ever I retire, it's her fault. Did you like that, Melanie? Blame it on her. There you go. Okay. And I've seen incredible singers, amazing cooks, fantastic salespeople, brilliant entrepreneurs, people with gifts that honestly made me stop and think, okay, wow, they could become extraordinary. But then something happened. They never stayed with one thing long enough to become world class. 1 month, they're pursuing music. The next month, they're opening a business. Then they hop into real estate. Then they start cryptocurrency. Then they go into network marketing. There's always something else. I mean, they change boyfriends and girlfriends with the same rate too. Anyways, there's always another opportunity. There's always something new that's convincing them that this is the next best thing. And then finally, they wake up, they're 60 years old and realize that they still have a mortgage to pay. They still have debts. They still are not living their dream life. And, just the whole life just goes away. And when you're at a stage in your life where you have less years in front of you and more years behind you, let's say everything is still possible, but the best, la crème de la crème of your life, your health has passed us by, right? The grass isn't greener somewhere else. I'm here to tell you at age 62, the grass is not greener somewhere else. The grass becomes greener when you consistently water it. Did you like that one? When you consistently water it. So last night I get home, it's like 10:30 p.m. and my nephew Daniel is with me. And now, if you've ever seen me watering my plants, no, I don't have an automatic, watering system, whatever. It's an old home. We never put it in. So I got this system. Melanie, here I go again. I got this system, right? I put all these little apparatuses. So I open them up and I start the grass in the front going like this. But while the grass is going like this, I have the side of the park that I need to water. So now I put it in the first plant, run on the side of my house, and I water one section, leave the hose there open, run back to the front, change the second. I got this whole system going on. So people say, oh my God, you have such a lovely garden. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's lovely because I consistently take care of it. You understand, guys? It's not, my earth isn't better. Oh my God, guys, you have no idea how hard I work in my garden at night with flashlights. Anyways, okay. So people always say, Maria, why did Tupperware work for you? And I always smile and I say, you know what? It wasn't the plastic. If it was the plastic, everybody would be successful. It wasn't perfect timing. It was concentration. I didn't spend 40 years looking for a better company every 6 months. I spent 43 years becoming better inside one company. Every year I became a little bit better. Every presentation a little bit better. Every coaching a little bit better. Every meeting a little bit better. We joke all the time. That was the best meeting ever. Oh my God, Maria, that was the best barbecue ever, the best live ever. And we always laugh, right? But you know what? It's actually true. Why? Because every single time we do something, immediately after, we brainstorm, Marie-Pierre, what should we do differently next time? And we put the list to do for a barbecue to date, the list to do for a seminar to date. So we improve just 1%, then another 1%, then another 1%. And the compound effect of this over 40 years has driven this business to a level of excellence never seen before in the history of the Tupperware Brands company. Okay. Excellence is thousands and I would even say millions of tiny, tiny, tiny improvements made in the same direction. So let me give you a picture here. I need you to imagine the sun. We've always heard that metaphor. I think it's the best one. I'm not going to change it. The sun will shine on the entire half of the earth every single day. Then, there's the other half. It's incredibly powerful. Yet, when its rays are scattered all over the place, nothing catches on fire. Now, let's take a simple magnifying glass. I mean, we've all seen this. Concentrate those rays into one specific tiny, 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 little batch of hay, one point, and suddenly it will burn. Nothing changes about the sun, only the focus. The same thing happens in our own lives. Talent isn't enough. Energy isn't enough. Hard work isn't enough. If your efforts are scattered all over the place, your results will be scattered too. I love cooking. When I'm cooking, I'm cooking. I'm not scrolling on social media. I'm not answering emails. I'm not talking to my sister while I'm cooking. I mean, how many times I've seen that too. They're on the phone while they're cooking. I'm present. I'm focused. I'm in love with the food I'm making. My my husband says it's like you're making love to the food. Yes, I am. I'm all in. And if ever you've eaten in my home, everything always tastes wonderful. And it has to taste wonderful because I put a lot of TLC into it, tender loving care, right? So being busy without being effective, activity with being busy without being effective, you're being active but with no intentionality, nothing is ever going to happen. There needs to be concentration, there needs to be intentionality, there needs to be something that makes your brain say, how will I make this the best spaghetti sauce of all times? I mean, that's what it is at the end of the day. So I garden, and my garden is the best so far because I take down notes for next year. And next year, I'm going to tell you it's the best so far. Our podcast this morning is the best ever because we take down notes and we make sure that the conversations, that what we're saying, what we're doing with you is delivered with intentionality. And most importantly, just remember this: success isn't built by doing many things reasonably well. Success is built by doing one meaningful thing exceptionally well, long enough for the compound effect to kick in. So, guys, now there is a psychology behind this. There is a science behind this. And that is going to be Melanie Miller sharing that part with you.
Yes, thank you very much, Maria. And Maria's just introduced another one of Napoleon Hill's reasons of why people eventually fail, and that is lack of concentration. I smiled when I heard today's subject because it reminded me of a conversation I've had many times with friends and family. Do you work best in complete silence, or do you like music playing in the background? My husband and one of my daughters are convinced they work better with music. Personally, I find it depends on the task. If I'm cooking, driving, or exercising, I absolutely love listening to audiobooks. And that's why I'm not excellent at cooking because I do multitask sometimes. In fact, listening to books is one of the things that helped me through my marathon training. Recently, I've become quite addicted to them. Sometimes I'm tempted to listen while I'm preparing one of these podcasts or working on a presentation, especially if I'm at a good place in the book. The interesting thing is that no matter how enjoyable the book may be, I always discover the same thing. The work takes longer, I make more mistakes, my thinking is less clear. Whenever I return to complete silence, everything seems to flow much more quickly. That made me wonder why. Modern neuroscience gives us a fascinating answer. The brain was never designed to multitask. One of the biggest myths in modern life is that human beings are good at multitasking. The women, especially, seem to think they're good at it. The brain doesn't actually multitask, it switches rapidly from one task to the other. Every time we switch our attention, the brain pays a price. Psychologists call this attention residue. Part of our attention remains attached to the previous activity. If I stop writing my presentation to answer a message, part of my brain is still thinking about the message when I return to the writing. The result is that the brain takes time to become fully focused again. Multiply that by dozens of interruptions every day, and we lose a remarkable amount of productive thinking. Our phones make this even more difficult. Every notification, every email, every text message, every social media update produces a tiny release of dopamine. The brain enjoys novelty, it enjoys discovering something new. Over time, the brain begins craving interruption, not because interruptions help us, but because they feel rewarding. This is why many people instinctively reach for their phones even when they have no real reason to do so. The habit has become automatic. Unfortunately, every interruption pulls us away from deep thinking. There's another reason concentration matters. The prefrontal cortex, the thinking part of our brain, has a very limited working memory. It can only hold a small amount of information at one time. Imagine trying to build a complicated jigsaw puzzle. Every interruption scatters some of the pieces. When you return to your work, the brain has to gather those pieces together again before it can continue. That is one reason why people often say, "Now, where was I?" The interruption may have only lasted 30 seconds. The recovery can take several minutes. Researchers use the expression deep work to describe periods of uninterrupted concentration. This is where the brain performs at its best. Complex thinking becomes easier, creativity increases, problems are solved more quickly, quality improves. Deep work is not about working harder. It is about giving the brain enough uninterrupted time to think deeply. Perhaps that explains why my presentations always come together more quickly in silence. My brain isn't continually changing direction, it remains focused on one problem. Psychologically, many of us make another mistake. We confuse being busy with being productive. A full diary feels successful. Answering 50 emails feels productive. Running from one activity to another feels important. Yet at the end of the day, we sometimes realize we have not completed one thing, the one thing that mattered the most. Hill would probably say we lacked concentration. Modern psychologists would say we lacked prioritization. We allowed urgent activities to crowd out important ones. The brain likes easy tasks because they provide quick feelings of accomplishment. Important work is often more demanding. It requires concentration, patience, and uninterrupted thought. The good news is that concentration can be trained. Here are 3 simple strategies supported by research. First, turn off the notifications for 1 hour. Give your brain permission to focus on one thing. Second, identify your most important task before your day begins. Complete that before allowing less important activities to interrupt you. Third, work in uninterrupted blocks at a time. Even 30 or 45 minutes of complete concentration is often far more productive than 3 hours of constant interruption. Perhaps Hill understood something that neuroscience has now confirmed. Our greatest achievements rarely come from doing more things. They come from giving our full attention to the right things. The brain performs at its very best when it knows this is the only thing that matters right now. Perhaps the greatest gift we can give our work, our families, and even ourselves is our complete attention. Because where our attention goes, our life usually follows. And with that, I'll leave you in the hands of Marie-Pierre, who I'm sure is going to help us see whether we are good at having attention. Over to you, Marie-Pierre.
Thank you, Melanie. So, yes, the quiz today will help you answer the question, what is receiving the best of your attention? Because time and attention are not the same thing. Because you can spend an hour sitting at your desk without giving your work a full attention. You can spend an evening with your family while your mind is answering email. Or you can attend a meeting while checking your phone under the table. You can read several pages of a book just to realize that you didn't absorb anything. So, you were physically present, but your attention was somewhere else. So the quiz today is not about measuring if you are intelligent or hardworking or ambitious, but it's helping you recognize how you currently manage your attention. So are you constantly reacting to whatever appears? Are you busy but divided? Or are you intentionally concentrating your energy on what matters most? So you don't want to answer according to your most productive day, but answer according to what happens the most often. So let's start. For each question, you want to choose that answer that sounds most like you today. So you can answer A, B, or C for each question. So let's start with question number 1. So you begin your morning and you know that you have an important task to complete today. What do you do? A, I usually check my message, email, or social media first and lose track of time. B, I know what I should do first, but I often allow small interruptions. Or C, I begin with my most important task before opening myself to distraction. Question number 2. When someone is speaking to you, what do you do? A, I sometimes check my phone or think about what I need to do next. B, I listen, but my attention occasionally wander. Or C, I give them my full attention and make them feel heard. Question number 3. At the end of a busy day, how do you feel? A, I'm often exhausted but unsure what I truly accomplished. B, I completed many small things but postponed something important. Or C, I can identify the meaningful priority that I move forward today. Question number 4. When a task becomes difficult or repetitive, what do you do? A, I usually look for something more interesting to do. B, I take several unnecessary breaks before finishing. Or C, I stay with the task or schedule a deliberate break without abandoning abandoning the task. And question number 5. You have been working for an hour. Which one is true? A. I've usually touched several tasks but completed very little. B. I've made some progress but also answered multiple interruptions. Or C. I've concentrated on one clearly defined task. So did you get mostly A's, mostly B's, or mostly C's? If you have mostly A, you are the reactive responder. So you are active, you are available, you probably respond quickly when people need you, but your attention is often being directed by whatever appears most recently, most loudly, or most urgently. So your phone ring, oh, you answer. You have a message, oh, you read it. Someone requests something, okay, you immediately adjust your plan. A new idea appear, okay, let's go, let's follow it. And at the end of the day, you may have helped many people and handled many small task, but your most important work is still waiting. So this doesn't mean that you lack ambition, but it means that your attention is too accessible. So your next level will begin by creating a pause between interruption and response. Not everything needs an immediate answer. Not every request requires a yes. So ask yourself, am I choosing what deserves my attention or simply reacting to what demands it? Now, if you have mostly B, you are the divided achiever. So you know what matters, you make plan, you work hard, you often accomplish a great deal, but your attention is divided between your priorities and the constant demand surrounding you. So you may begin the right task, but interrupt yourself repeatedly. So you may create a list without protecting the time required to complete it. So your challenge is not identifying your priorities, but it's defending them. So your next level will come from fewer open tabs, fewer unnecessary decisions, and fewer promises made to activities that do not support your purpose. So you don't need to fit more into your day, but you need to give the most important work a large share of your undivided attention. And now, if you have mostly C, you are the intentional focuser. So you understand that attention must be protected. You decide what matters before the day becomes noisy. So you concentrate on one priority at a time and you create the boundaries around the interruption. So you are willing to delay less important tasks so meaningful work can move forward. So this doesn't mean that you never become distracted, but it means that you notice distraction and you can say, deliberately, I will return my attention to what is my priority. So you continue reviewing what deserves your focus. So you keep asking yourself, is this still the most meaningful place for my attention during your day? So one thing that is really important, I will finish with just one practical action because I think it's the most important. Create a focus friendly environment because focus is not created by willpower alone. It's not discipline. It is strongly influenced by the environment around you. So start by examining the physical space. So does this place help me concentrate or is it inviting me to become distracted? So yes, start before beginning an important task. Clear the unnecessary object from your workspace, or just close all the pages on your computer that is not related, or silence the TV, the music, or maybe put your phone out of reach. So you want to choose that space that where those interruptions are less likely. But your environment is not just the room that you are sitting in, but it's also the people around you. Some people will respect your priorities and other will just interrupt constantly. So bring unnecessary drama or make you feel guilty for protecting your time. So you don't need to remove everyone from your life, but you may need to create the boundaries so you know with who you can really work and be focused. Just like the example of Maria with the babysitter, Melanie Miller, when she wanted to do something. Choose the right environment. Yes, the place, but also the people that will work with you that will make the biggest difference. So at the end of the day, you want to ask yourself, what is that one thing that would make my day meaningful when you start, and you want to give it your clearest mind, your strongest energy, your undivided presence, because your future is not created by everything that you occasionally catches your attention, but it will be created by what you repeatedly choose to focus on. So protect your attention, because where your attention goes, now your life will follow. So on that, I wish you a beautiful day, and we will see you tomorrow for the next podcast. Bye, everyone.